morning, boys and girls. Happy
Happy Sabbath! We're so excited to be with you for another
Nature Nuggets.
That's right, it's Nature Nugget time. So let's
Nugget time.
let's find a comfy pillow and sit down and let's see what animal God created for us to learn about. Are you ready?
Yes, we are. Clue number one is
this animal can jump up to 2 yards when they're traveling upstream in a river.
Clue number two is
the female can lay up to 4,000 eggs at a time. Wow, let's think about it.
That is a lot of eggs, right, boys and girls?
Yeah, that sure is. That would make a lot of scrambled eggs, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could eat a lot of eggs.
All right, let's think. What animal did God create? Do you want to take a guess?
Is it a little lamb?
No. You want to try one more time? They live in the water. They live in the rivers.
Can I have a guess?
Yes.
Samuel fish? What about if it's a salmon?
That's right. This week's Nature Nugget animal is the salmon.
Salmon fish.
Yeah, let's learn about the salmon fish. The Bible verse that I'm going to use today is called, "Let us run with preference the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith." Hebrews 12:1 and 2. I think this verse is perfect for the salmon, and you'll see why. The salmon, a large fish, lays its eggs in the gravel of riverbeds under fast-flowing water. After a few days, the females that laid the eggs die, but the story doesn't end there. After 2 or 3 years, the small fish that hatched from the eggs swim downstream to the ocean, where they will find plenty to eat. Then, fully grown, when the time comes for those fish to lay their eggs, the salmon will swim all the way back to the place where they had hatched in their freshwater gravel riverbeds. Their journeys are not straightforward, and they must face dangers of many kinds. They have to swim upstream against the current. This means they may have to be strong enough not to be swept back. They must leap up several waterfalls, which they do in stages if the waterfall is very high. They must avoid predators like bears, eagles, even fishermen with their fishing lines. This long, tough journey can be several thousand miles. How do they know what to do? Some say they smell their way. Others say it has to do with the sun and the electrical charges from the currents in the ocean. But we really know that is how God designed them. As Jesus followers, we could compare our life journey to that of the salmon. In a world where people are going a certain way that may not be good, we must face them head on and go against the stream. Some of these people are our friends, and they cannot understand why we won't join them in their journey. Sometimes Satan is successful in luring us, like the canny fisherman does with his fishing line when he tries to catch the salmon. But Jesus can help us to avoid being caught when we allow him to. We know that God's plan for our lives is to live with him forever. He tells us to persevere, not to give in, and to stay on course he has set for us. Just as the salmon swim night and day until they reach their spawning grounds, we must stay focused on Jesus night and day until we reach the end of our journey. So let's make sure that we pray to Jesus and ask him to help us see the life that he has planned for us. The salmon is a fish. It has a long body covered in scales. It has several fins and a tail which help it move through the water. It also has eyes and a mouth. The young salmon has a splotched color on its sides for the first 3 years of its life, and then its scales turn to silver when it leaves for the ocean. When it returns to its river, the salmon turns red. The head of a female salmon is the same through its whole body. A male, on the other hand, develops a hook on its jaw, which is called a kype. Salmon hatch from eggs in freshwater rivers. They grow into small fish called smolt. They can live there for up to 3 years. Eventually, they move back to the ocean for another 5 years. At the end of their lives, they may move back to the river where they were born in to breed. Salmon eat different things depending on where they lived. Most young salmon eat zooplankton or other tiny animals in the water. In the ocean, salmon eat smaller fish like herring and krill. Salmon lay eggs in freshwater streams. The eggs hatch into small fish which grow into larger fish called smolts. Smolts are able to live in salt water. They move into the ocean and grow into full adults. Adults can live in the ocean for up to 5 years. When they are ready, the adult fish go back up the stream where they were born to breed in. New eggs are laid and the cycle starts again. Many salmons are anadromous, which means they live in the salt water of the ocean but return to freshwater, their native river, to spawn. And remember, like the beautiful book Steps to Christ talks about, we can learn more about Jesus in nature. When we look at the fields, the trees, the flowers, even the passing clouds, all of it speaks to our heart and invites us to become acquainted with Jesus who made them all, including the traveling salmon. All right, boys and girls, here are your clues for next week's Nature Nugget animal. Clue number 1, their wings beat about 200 beats per second. And clue number 2, they have 5 eyes. All right, good luck. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I can't wait to join you again next week for another Nature Nugget. Bye.